Welcome back everyone to SecurityCompliance.io's CMMC Assessment Guidance series powered by Intersec Inc. In this video, we will continue to discuss the CMMC domains and break down information for each of them to better your understanding of their requirements. If you are preparing for CMMC certification and would like to learn how C3PAOs will assess your CMMC Level 1 compliance, this video is for you. Today, we will be continuing our discussion on identification and authentication. As previously discussed, the CMMC standard defines one capability for identification and authentication, which is to grant access to authenticated entities. The identification and authentication domain for Level 1 has two practices. The second practice, IA.1.077, is to authenticate or verify the identities of those users, processes, or devices as a prerequisite to allowing access to organization informational systems. This is going to build upon the previous practice in the sense that now we're going to be focusing purely on authenticating. Let us begin by discussing this practice from a NIST 800-171 point of view. Default authentication credentials are often well known and they are easily discoverable, which obviously is going to pose a significant security risk to your organization and access to organizational information. This entire requirement focuses on verifying a user's identity and making sure they are who they claim to be, ensuring that someone that's posing as a user cannot get access to any information in your organization. Now, what does this mean in regards to CMMC? Let us clarify. Before you let a person or device have access to your system, whether it's an employee or non-employee, you need to verify that the user or device is who or what it claims to be. To do this, you must have them go through an authentication process, and this can be commonly done with a username or hard-to-guess password. However, as aforementioned, default passwords are well known to the public and can be easily found through a Google search. So it's important that you do not set default passwords for your system, as it will be easy for an unauthorized person to guess and use this to gain access to your system. Be wary of that. Let's go over an example to clarify this further. You are in charge of purchasing. You know that some laptops come with the default username and password when they are shipped. You notify IT that all default passwords should be reset prior to laptop use. You further ask IT to explain the importance of resetting default passwords to all of your employees and convey how easily they are discovered using internet searches during next week's cybersecurity awareness training. However, let's take a second and pause. How would this translate over to your own organization? Let's go over this example implementation to get further understanding from the example previously discussed. You have new employees onboarding to your organization. Each of them are given a new laptop to conduct organization-related work with a username pre-assigned to them and a default password. Upon logging into their system for the first time, they are immediately prompted to change their password with requirements set by you as a minimum. For example, having one uppercase letter, one number, etc., before they can access any organizational information. You further advise each employee to never share their credentials with another user, regardless of who it is, even if it's a fellow employee. Looking at this implementation, you might better understand how this translates over to your organization. I want to re-emphasize, the focus is always going to be on authentication, and that should be the prime focus when you do move forward with anything in regards to this practice. Each assessment objective includes a determination statement which is related to the CMMC practice it is discussing, as that's going to be the focus of the practice when you do look into it. For IA.1.077, there are going to be three assessment objectives. Let's go over them. The first, the identity of each user is authenticated or verified as a prerequisite to system access. Second, the identity of each process acting on behalf of a user is authenticated or verified as a prerequisite to system access. And finally, third, the identity of each device accessing or connecting to the system is authenticated or verified as a prerequisite to system access. Assessment objects identify the specific items being assessed and can include specifications, mechanisms, activities, and finally, individuals. For IA.1.077 and all the other practices we've gone over in this video series, these are going to be the same across the board. So if you would like to, you can take a second to pause to go over them, or if you're already familiar with them, we're just going to keep moving forward. When assessment time finally comes around, a C3PAO may look at a variety of things, with many of them on screen right now for you to look at. Making sure you understand these is going to be vital for your assessment process and making sure you can achieve certification easily. So let's take a second to go over them. For examine, the examine method again is all about reviewing, inspecting, observing, studying, or analyzing assessment objects. For this specifically, in regards to this practice, they could look at your identification and authentication policy. For the interview method, it's all about holding discussions with individuals or groups to facilitate understanding, or maybe even clarify something in regards to your organization. Here, they might interview personnel with information security responsibilities, or even a system or network administrator. The test or / inspect method is about the process of exercising assessment objects under specific conditions to compare them with some behaviors. Here, they might inspect the mechanisms supporting or implementing authenticator management capability. Here are the references to other security standards related to IA.1.077. This again can be used as a mapping mechanism to see how your existing standards that you have worked on match up to CMMC compliance. And there you have it. That's the end of the video. If you would like to continue to learn about CMMC in depth, check out some of the resources we've included on the screen, but they'll also be in the description below for your convenience. As we've mentioned before, Intersec is working tirelessly to continue posting educational content on our other platforms as well, such as the blogs we post that you can look at with the link on screen. A great way to keep up to date on CMMC and any relevant updates and changes is to join our mailing list at intersecinc.com/contact us. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again, but the best way to prepare for CMMC certification is to continue to practice and work towards implementing all of the requirements, and that can only be done by taking action. You're taking action here by watching this video, but we also provide a platform where you can further that action and take a free self-assessment on your current standing with CMMC, generate a free gap analysis report, and see what needs to be worked on within your organization to work towards certification. And that can be done by visiting our assessment platform at www.securitycompliance.io. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving us a like and subscribe for more content if you would like to continue seeing all the content that we're releasing. Turn on post notifications so you can be alerted when we post our next video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.